chapter 119. Gimel. Deal bountifully with your servant, that I may live, and I will observe your word. Open you mine eyes, that I may behold wondrous things out of your law. I am a sojourner in the earth. Hide not your commandments from me. My soul breaketh for the longing that it hath unto your ordinances at all times. You have rebuked the proud that are cursed, that do err from your commandments. Take away from me reproach and contempt, for I have kept your testimonies. Even though princes sit and talk against me, your servant doth meditate in your statutes. Yes, your testimonies are my delight. They are my counselors. All right, let's go back up to verse 17. Gimel. Gimel is the third letter of the Hebrew alphabet. Gimel looks like a foot, and that's kind of what it represents, is the progress or the progression, or those that go forth to progress or to prosper even in God's understanding. But the Gimel also sounds like Gimel, which is a Hebrew word for the camel. The camel in the ancient of times was the way to travel, the way of getting around, the way of delivering the merchandises of that time, or merchandising. We can look at it, which is another form of progress. But we're going to pick it up here in verse 17. Deal bountifully with your servant, that I may live, and I will observe your word. Deal bountifully to give in a full amount, to provide for exceedingly for your servant, or the one who observes, the one who listens, the one who does what he is asked to do, that I may live, to keep me from the way of death even. I will observe your word, the word of the Lord, the word of Hashem, which is simple. It is his ordinances and his statutes, which he established. 18. Open you mine eyes, that I may behold wondrous things out of your law. These wondrous things, or the truths that come forth from the law, God's law, as we were talking about, Hashem, that holy name's law, the presence of the Lord, the law which he gives us. It's in your heart when you know when you do wrong. A lot of people say, well, we don't, that's not the truth, but it is. Our heart tells us when we do wrong, when we do err, when we violate somebody else or their presence. 19. I am a sojourner in the earth. Hide not your commandments from me. I am a sojourner. You are a sojourner. We are all sojourners in the earth. Those that work, those that are strangers to it, even the earth and all things that are created by it or from it, flesh itself. Don't hide your commandments from me. Don't hide your ordinances, your laws, your statutes. These things God makes plain through the lessons that we get in life. 20. My soul breaks for the longing that it has unto your ordinances at all times. My soul, it breaks. The word is garak, and it means to be crushed, more or less to mashed. Yeah, we understand what that means, as we are humbled, even mashed down, humbled in our spirit, for the longing of God's ordinances, for the longing to know the truth, to be right, to be correct in the earth is what it is, to be righteous. 21. You have rebuked the proud that are cursed, that do err from your commandments. You have rebuked the proud, and he has done it through the law. The law automatically, you're one way or the other as it goes through, and it makes known those that do err from their exalting themselves over others, and God makes it known. He's cut them off with his commandments, with the law itself, because he gives it to everybody, and he didn't give it to one to hold over another, and certainly not for gain. 22. Take away from me reproach and contempt, for I have kept your testimonies. Take away from me reproach and contempt, or these of reproach and contempt. And we'll see the Lord does. The Lord does it by giving us His Torah, giving us His statutes, giving us His laws, and we keep them and obey them, and it turns these backwards. 23, even those princes sit and talk against me. Your servant doth meditate in your statutes. Even though princes sit and talk against me, these rulers, princes or rulers, those ones that took up a position that's been established over, or it has that mindset of being over. We'll find out there's nothing over me except the Lord. They sit and talk against me, or they create their ordinances, they create their laws against me. But your servant, Lord, doth meditate in your statutes. Well, I know God's law is true. God's law is fair. And through it we see the perversion of man's understanding. 24. Yes, your testimonies are my delight. They are my counselors. And yes, God's testimonies, the Lord's testimonies, they are my delight. They are my counselors. That's where I get my understanding from. Ain't nothing going to change about that. These testimonies we can take as these are witnesses. Or testimony is something we get from a witness in a court. And God's testimonies are, or the witnesses are, heaven and earth. As He said in the beginning, I will call heaven and earth as a witness against you. We'll call reality as a witness against those that pervert the Lord's understanding. We are going to continue in Daleth, turn and return.